was scared to share my true color, to be who I truly was. I was hiding in the story I was reading, fearful of what people would think about me. But this ends now. I have stopped running. I decide to accept my diversity. Today, I will share our story of neurodiversity and mental health awareness. Welcome on the ADHD Melly Show. Hello, everybody! I hope you're doing well today, and welcome on the ADHD Melly Show. Today, we're going to talk about anxiety and how we can control our life if we let it do it, but we won't let it do it. We're going to share with you some tips how to control your anxiety and how you can live a better life. So let's bring Deanna Russo.
Hello, Melly.
How are you today?
Good, doing good.
Yay! So before we start, just introduce yourself a little bit, what you're doing with your life, and just to know each other a little bit better.
Absolutely. So I own a company called Leverage Up, and we work with our clients to help them on LinkedIn. There's a 3-piece strategy that we work on in regards to LinkedIn profile, engagement, and content. And I believe that everyone on LinkedIn should show their human side. They should show they really are people and they have emotions, and we all, in the end, we're all human. And so I'm trying to dispel the myths that go along with LinkedIn, that it's not just a job search portal and it's not just for press releases. It really has transformed. And so I'm just excited to help other people see what LinkedIn is all about. And so that's me on the professional side. And on the personal side, I am a married mom of 3. My oldest, actually, Melly and I have been inside joking because my oldest is in the midst of finishing her turkey trot at her middle school. And so if my eyes move to the side. But yeah, so just really excited to be with you today and talk about something that is not talked about on a regular basis. And if people are going through things like this, I want them to know that we're human and that it is okay to talk about it.
Because anxiety is mostly about what people think about us. We're a lot anxious about what they will think about us, what's life about. I have to pay my bills, I have to do the laundry, I have to do everything in my life, and it's so overwhelming, right? And sometimes it can get to depression and more problematic, and this is something that not a lot of people are talking. You said that you have 3 kids, so you probably have anxiety because you have doctor's appointment, you have so many things in your schedule, you have your work, you have so much things that you need to do, and that's complicated some time. Even for myself, I have anxiety because I'm scared my show, will it work? Would I have people listening to my show? Would I have my bills to pay? I have school to finish, I have my homework to do, and I'm just like, and it's normal to find like to be like that. This is true now.
Yeah, it's really easy to get overwhelmed. It's easy to get overwhelmed, and it's easy to get distracted and to really and it's in the end, it is about your priorities, right? It's about the people that are most important. It's about what you think is the most important, whether it's your business, family, I mean, all of the things. And when there's multiple directions that you're being pulled, it can be really I think anxiety and overwhelm should be it should be equal sign, because that's a lot of it has to do with overwhelm.
Yeah, and sometimes you have difficulty to sleep is because you have a signal and you have to remind yourself that maybe I'm doing a little bit too much this time. It's not normal for me to feel this way, and I need to just give it a break. And it's okay if you just don't want to work this day. It's okay. And
Right.
the work is going to wait for you tomorrow. Your laundry is going to wait for you tomorrow. And when you have too much stuff at the same time, it's not good, because you cannot just think about what you need to do when you're so much in that moment of stress, of anxiety, you're just having almost a panic attack or a panic attack. You're not thinking clearly, and you're like, my life is like a disaster. But at the same time, it's only laundry, okay? The laundry is not going to it's okay if it's a pile of laundry. You don't see my background, but there's so many laundry that needs to be done. But yes, like you said, you absolutely need to go with your priority. It was the most important for you, and it's okay if there's a pile of laundry there.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
So what are your tips to overcome your anxiety on a daily basis?
I think that when it comes to overcoming your anxiety, I believe, is my mic muted? I have a message here that my mic is muted.
Oh, I do hear you perfectly.
Okay, then that's good. So I would say my tips is really find an outlet. One thing that I started at the start of COVID was I started doing workouts, and it was 5 days a week, and I kept that up for quite some time. And it is about finding an outlet that is productive, that makes the most sense, that's not self-damaging. I've also taken up piano. I've been doing piano when my kids get on the bus. I do a little bit of piano. I actually met someone on LinkedIn, and I'm doing Mark Deeks is his name, and I'm doing his piano in my own time. And the cool thing is he's got it all set up for virtually, so you can do it whenever. It's not like you have to tune in at a specific time. So it's little things like that it really makes a difference when you're putting yourself first. And as a working mom, it's not that easy to do, because there's a lot of, you want to make sure that everyone knows that they're the bigger priority. But if you're not taking care of yourself, there's not that much to give to those other people. And so you can't pour from a half full cup. It's not like you won't have as much juice to give other people if you don't take care of yourself. And so that's what I'm trying to do now. I'm trying to make sure that people around me understand just how important they are to me by taking care of myself first.
Absolutely. And this is the first thing you're going to stop taking care when you feel a bit anxiety or simply starting of depression. You're going to stop even washing your own body. You will be like, I don't want to do anything instead. And you will only think that you should stay in bed and do nothing because you're not worthy of anything. But that's not true. And taking care of your body is taking care of your soul, is taking care of your mind, is taking care of everybody around you too, and if you feel like you don't want to go outside or you want to stay in bed, just please talk to somebody, talk to a professional. Don't stay alone in your bedroom, because that won't help you. Because I know what it is to have mild depression. And start of COVID, I was on my mom, and I was like, I want to get out of there. I wasn't feeling very well, and at the same time you need to think about something else and do some activities and stop. And you will probably think, I have no money, I cannot do anything because I'm too poor of doing anything. And I thought that for a long time. I wasn't doing anything because I had no money to do it. But walking with friends is free, okay? And just watching a movie on Netflix, even if you don't have it because you're too poor, I'm sure one of your friends has Netflix, okay? And there's always ways that you can just have a little bit more fun, even if you don't go to the spa, you don't go into the movie, and you don't go to the restaurant. Because trust me, I haven't really missed the restaurant when they were closed in Canada. And
Yeah.
I mostly miss my friends and my family because I wasn't able to see them more than the restaurants itself.
Yeah, in the end, it's about the people. It's about the people who you love, right? I mean,
Yeah.
it's about surrounding yourself with people. And when you put things or going out to things like restaurants above that, then the people it's not the same. It's honest, and that's what it boils down to, is it's not the same. You really have to enjoy, and that's what Thanksgiving is all about too, right? It's giving thanks for the people that are most important to you, and that's close to my heart.
For us, Thanksgiving is already past.
Oh, that's right. That's right. Well, for the American Thanksgiving that's coming up next Thursday.
Yeah, for us, I think it's Mondays in October, something like that. I don't remember. The date always change, But yeah, Thanksgiving in Canada and USA, the only difference is not the same date, because it's all about the same thing, to be gathering with families and take the weekend to just celebrate, And at
Yeah.
the same time, we're lucky because we have two different holidays. For you, it's a little bit too close from Christmas, so we
Christmas.
have a little bit.
Yeah. Can I tell you what happens in the States? People rush Christmas and they forget about Thanksgiving. And Thanksgiving for our family is so important that, like, we see neighbors that already have the Christmas decorations up, and we're like, let's get through Thanksgiving first. Now, mind you, the day after Thanksgiving, we're all about Christmas. But leading up to it, it's about giving thanks and being grateful. And guess what? My daughter finished in the top for her turkey trot. She's taking the group picture. She got a shirt and everything.
That's cool. Congratulations to her.
Yes. Yeah. So it's about multitasking. Melly, it's totally about multitasking. There she is. Yeah.
So while Deanna is looking to her daughter, please, if you have any question, just ask us. And I want to know who's LinkedIn user. I don't see your name, and I'm quite wondering, who are you? So
Yeah.
welcome, Jacob, for being here, like you are always here. To Ju Anna, I know I'm rushing your name again because I don't remember how to pronounce it again. And Graphic for Studio. It's the first time you're here. I hope you enjoyed the show. Please tell me what do you think about it. And yeah, I really wonder who's LinkedIn user, because you speak in French like I am. Do you see the name? Because I don't see the name.
LinkedIn user, someone who's anonymous and who doesn't want their name put all over the internet. LinkedIn user. I did see a familiar face. Scroll down a little bit in the comments. There was someone who said hello to us early on. And she was before Graphic for Studio. Let me see if I can find.
I don't see. I think it's Juana or something
Yes,
like
Juana.
that.
Yes.
Juana.
Hello, Juana. Hello, Juana. Oh, I'm so excited that my daughter. Oh, I cannot wait. I cannot wait to hear all about the turkey trot.
So, talk to me a little bit more when you experienced anxiety. What was it came from, and how did you, like you already say how you overcome it, but how did it start happening?
I cannot pinpoint the exact moment, but I can say that I believe in my heart of hearts that it's hereditary, because I feel that family members have anxiety. And so I think that in my case, and it may not be that way in everyone's case, but in my case, I think I inherited this, which isn't one of the things that you want to from your family. Obviously, you want the good looks or the young looking or something. You don't want to inherit this. But I think in my case, I definitely think it was inherited. And I think that it's also how you react to situations around you. For example, I lost my sister in 1998. And I can honestly say, Melly, that because of that crash, I have thought about my own death. And it's something that a 40-some-year-old woman shouldn't be thinking about on a regular basis, but I have, because that happened, and it was 20 some odd years ago, but it's still, these things don't leave you, these experiences that you go through, they don't leave you. So yeah, I honestly, I feel like I cannot pinpoint the exact moment. And I don't know if too many people with anxiety can say that, yeah, this was probably, but I would say that what happened to my sister was probably definitely played a part in it. I think that I had it though growing up. I think it just escalated quite a bit as an adult.
And when you have like a panic attack or you feel very overwhelmed, what do you do to calm you down and to make you feel a little bit better? Because we're not going to lie to yourself. It's not going to go away like by magic. You have to do something. You have to breathe and just, focus on something else. But what are your tips to overcome an anxiety rush?
I think breathing has a lot to do with it. I think breathing, closing your eyes, understanding that whatever is going on around you or whatever your mind is swirling, when you close your eyes and you just concentrate on your breathing, that can really help. Because if you dwell in that moment, in that overwhelm for too long, it will not only take over your mind and your emotions, but physically it'll take you over too. So I really feel like breathing is so underrated. Deep breaths, close eyes, and just being where you need to be. And I feel like that's a big part of it. Water helps too. I know I love to drink a lot of water, so I feel like staying hydrated has a lot to do with it too. But honestly, there is a link. There's a link between your mental well-being, between your emotional well-being, and physical. And that's the reason why I started exercising, is because I feel better physically and mentally after that workout routine.
Have our time to just do exercise in this time, and I decide I will go back and I'm going to bring my studies. I'm going to do some cardio at the same time. I'm just going to study my thing. So it's multitasking, and it helps me just not just thinking about the fact that I'm running. Because
Yep.
it can be boring, just to go walk. And so for that you can also read an audio book and do some things like that, just to make your head focus on something else than the thing that are not pleasant to do. At the same time, you can feel anxiety because you put it at the last moment, everything that you hate to do, and now they are in due time and you need to do it now. And it's about also planning properly your thing to avoid anxiety, because sometimes anxiety can be avoided by modifying some circumstances, and deciding that you're going to do the thing that you hate first is going to help you just enjoy the moment after that.
Yeah. Yeah. And that has a lot to do with it. It really does. I feel like how you deal with what happens to you says a lot about you. And so if you curl up in a ball, how is that going to help? If you close the lights and close the shades and stay in bed, that might be what you need for today or 1 hour or something like that. But in the big scheme of things, that might not be the go-to method to help overall. So if you have to kind of train yourself to what gets me to point B. Where I am isn't where I'm going to stay. So what do I need to do to get me to that next point?
Exactly. So, like you said, it's okay to go in your bed for an hour and just roll and
Right.
crying and do nothing. But you have
Yeah.
to put yourself back up and just go do what you need to do, because
Right.
the problem is not going to go away in your bed. Your pile of laundry is still there, and
Yeah.
it's not going away, and it's just going to go bigger and bigger and bigger. And one day you won't have any clothes to put on yourself. So that's a problem.
Yeah. That could be a problem. Yeah. Yeah.
So yeah, it is okay to just do one laundry a day instead of doing everything, because your problem can feel overwhelmed right now, and you tell yourself, I'm just going to do part of the problem right now, and it's going to be better at that doing nothing about it. Like, you can do
Yeah.
one laundry or just reading one chapter of your study because you're too
Right.
tired and you feel it's too big to be done today. And it's okay. It's probably too big to do it if you
Yeah.
feel overwhelmed about it, because probably you're right at some point, because anxiety and stress is about reacting to a problem like in nature is because there's animal that wants to eat you, okay? And that's not the reality in this world, but it's still some things like a boss telling you that you need to hurry up. It can be family that telling you, I don't know, they can tell you you didn't do the laundry and stress you about that. And if
Mm-hmm.
you feel that somebody has a problem to solve, it can be anything, any problem, don't rush them, okay? Just talk to them and say, maybe you should do one laundry today, because stress and anxiety is mostly coming in the environment that you're living in. And don't be
Yeah.
a toxic person.
Right, right. And I'll tell you that just the way you look at um, the big picture, when you look at the big picture, you look at that big pile of laundry, for example, there could be overwhelm. You could think that you have to do all of that, but LinkedIn is very similar to that. When I'm working with my clients, I said, do things in baby steps. So take baby steps to get there, because if someone were to think about LinkedIn, for example, they would think, oh, I need 50,000 followers by next month. Well, that's not feasible, right? That's not feasible. So taking baby steps and knowing what you need to do to get to that end result, it's good to have a goal, but you have to set achievable goals too, right? So it's about doing things on an everyday basis that is going to get you to that finish line.
Yeah, so how did you always put on your profile, ask me how you did it. So how did you did it?
Yeah. So I grew my following on LinkedIn 25 times in 18 months. So in 2008, I started on LinkedIn. And like a lot of people, I treated it like an online resume. I would go in every so often and change my experience, and that was it. And that changed in 2018 because I was working for a company and they wanted me to use LinkedIn as the primary way to bring in new business. And what they thought that meant and what I thought that meant was two different things, because what I did was I didn't rely on those cold call pitches. What I did was I started to have conversations and get to know people, and created my own content too. So what I found was a strategy that started with your profile and then went into engagement to have conversations and then creating content, that it was working. And so when I left that company a year or so later, I had all these people telling me, this is what you need to do. There's not too many that have figured out what LinkedIn, how to make it work. And so that's how Leverage Up began. But yeah, it's a really good formula of a good profile, having those conversations and getting to know people and not pitching them and not sales every 24/7, but building relationships. And then and in that case, when you do that, you really say, you're most important to me. And so you're not saying me, 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 me. You're saying you are very important to me. I appreciate you. And then that content allows people to get to know you. And it allows people to find out who Melly really is. And so that's why it was three really good pieces. So yeah, and it's been good so far. So
Great. That's a little bit why I decided to create my show, is to not just talk and invite somebody with me. It's not like about only about me. I think I will miss some content because I'm not my life is not that fantastic neither. And I need to share stories with other people, not just about me. Like anxiety is not only about me, it's about everybody. I think most people have experienced anxiety in their life, and if they didn't, they probably lied to themselves, because it's almost impossible you never felt at least a little bit of stress about something in your life, because
right.
that's how the body is working. So Juana, I hope I'm not messing up. I said that again. I'm so sorry. I'm very sorry of butchering your name. I'm very sorry. So she has a question for you.
Okay.
So how did you decide to ignore what your company wanted to do, cold pitching, and start talking to people on LinkedIn?
So this is what I did, Juana. So when I first started, their idea of building relationships on LinkedIn was to go to the direct messages because the people who were running the ship didn't realize that having those conversations in the comments was a better way to do it, you know? So I didn't ignore, I just showcased myself so that they saw me having conversations, and they saw me creating that content, and they didn't look at it as ignored. They looked at it as, she's really active on LinkedIn, and she's opening up conversations. So that's where we shifted from, it was a direct message strategy that it's basically like hearing crickets when you send direct messages to people, because it's equivalent to someone knocking on your door and saying, will you buy this vacuum cleaner? And you don't know that person.
You
You
don't
don't
know if
know
they
that
need
person.
it.
No. So, I mean, why not? That's why I said yes to Melly, Juana. I said yes to Melly because I had already known Melly through LinkedIn. And so that's the reason why I'm here on her show, is because we already had that relationship. And so anyone that shows up with me consistently in the comments is someone that I appreciate, and we already have that relationship. And I can probably go into 20 or 30, maybe even 50 people on LinkedIn who just, no, that's fine. I see her. She said wrong word choice. No, but it's good. It's good that we explain this. So I mean, you can start out on one path, and then you can go into another path that's really working. And as long as I was still showing a presence on LinkedIn, that was really the most important part for them.
So, if we go back to anxiety, how did you feel emotional to just decide to talk about yourself on LinkedIn? Because it's quite hard to just
Yeah,
decide, I'm going to show my own self on every strangers, and you don't know
yeah,
if they're going to hate you, troll you, and saying things that you don't want to hear. So, how did you
right.
decide to just do it anyway?
You take a risk. You take a risk when you open up that curtain and show people the human side of you. For example, this morning, I posted the lyrics to that song, and it was about people on the outside seeing a happy face, but inside you're crying. Inside you're sad. So I open up my human side, Melly, because people need to understand that it's not just a profile picture. You know, there's a human here. There's a real person, a real mom of three, a real business owner. I'm real, and I want to make sure that other people see that real side too. But it does take some guts, and not everyone can open up and to have these relationships and to show that personal side. And that's why I tell everyone that to start out creating that content on LinkedIn, I say start with the professional side. And then if you want to show a little bit of the human, make it 70 or 80% professional. And then maybe that 20 to 30% personal, because if you want them to know you for a podcaster, for example, then you showcase that side of you the most. And that's why I do so much talking about LinkedIn, because I want people to know that side. And then, by the way, I just had my cancer anniversary last Friday. So it's one of those deals.
But congratulations for that.
Thank you.
Can I ask you, how was your anxiety level about that, and how you overcome? Because we always say that cancer or even big disease in mental health can be affected. So how did you make it work to feel always, to not putting yourself always down and just going up and say, I'm going to beat that beast? How did you do that?
Yeah, you can talk the talk, but you have to walk the walk. And that's basically what it boils down to. Is I can say that I'm stronger for overcome that, but really I feel like I am stronger for overcome that. I think everyone um everyone who has been through things in their life, whether it be the death of a loved one, whether it be health struggles, and in my case, it's all of the above. It helps you become the person who you are now. And really and I'm not saying anyone that hasn't experienced it isn't any weaker for it, but honestly, that's the way I look at all of the bad stuff that happens. Is I hate to go into there's a reason, because for some things there just isn't a reason and you just don't know what it is. But I feel like it is helping to shape who I am now, and who I'm going to be in the future, because of how you deal with what happens to you.
Yeah, it's true about that. And yeah, I'm going to get it one day. And she said that she has a little bit of anxiety when she approached people on LinkedIn for conversation. I felt the same, and I was like that at the beginning. I didn't want to share anything about myself. I was always scared, and I was like, screw that, just but at the same time, people are in internet. They're not going to tap out on your door and say, I didn't like what you said. They're going to say it in the comment, and after that, you just delete it. They're not going to your house and say, I hate you. Because
Yep.
people are, it's easier to talk on the internet because people are not going to just come to you and just being mad at you like that. They are going to say it in the comment only, you know?
Yep.
And sometimes people don't have any filters on the internet comparing in the real
It's
life, you
true.
know?
It's true. They hide behind the screen and they type and they type and they type, and then they close the computer and they go off to their normal lives. But what people don't realize is those comments can be destructive. They really can. What you say online can be so destructive. So, honestly, I can feel for anyone who doesn't want to share too much. But honestly, I feel like the conversations that you have with people in those comments, that can be a step in the right direction. You know, that can be, you're not posting your entire life story, but you can say, I can relate with this because this happened to me. And how often are those comments going to be read by people other than the person posting it too? You just never know who sees you on LinkedIn or any social media. And one of the cool things about LinkedIn, Melly, is that you've got those second and third degree connections. So it's really, I think that's why I like LinkedIn. That's really amazing in the power of it. But there's just amazing people here too. So that's why I really like it. I don't know how
Yeah,
we
and
did
I'm so
that.
happy there's so many people today. Sometimes it's so there's now almost nobody, and today there's a lot of people, and I want to say thank you for being here today. I'm so glad to see all of you there. I'm happy because I see that my show is getting a little bit more popular over time, and it feels so good to see. And I'm thankful for people like you, Deanna, that simply decide to share my show too at the same time. So it makes, like you said, two and second and third degree connection coming to my show and discovering me. And I'm so grateful about that. And thanks so much
Yay.
for being here today. I was wondering, guys, if you have any question for us, you can just post it in the comment section. We'll be so happy. And if you feel a little bit too shy or you're a little bit scared of just talking about us on, because now we're public, you know, just DM us too. I'll be so happy to just help you guys. So I'm so
Yeah.
happy to.
Please connect with us. And if you want to send me a direct message, just the two of us, that's fine. I reply to all my direct messages. So, yeah, I appreciate being here, Melly. Yeah, if people have questions, I see Michael has posted a comment. Mahida. I'm hoping to say her name right, but thank you so much for joining us.
I'm thankful you have this show. At least so important to talk
Oh,
about
there's
like.
Lana.
Yeah, I'm so happy to just talking about you guys. Oh, there's connection glitch. I'm sorry. You should go see my YouTube channel because I like linking to just share with people like that. But there's so many connection glitches and sometimes doesn't work perfectly, and it's
Yeah,
not us because my internet, they say, and Deanna's internet says perfect too, so it's not us, it's really Lincoln that sometimes bugs. So please go ADHD Melly Show on YouTube, and you will be able to just follow me there and see the show there. If you have any problem with those glitches, is will be always good to see you there too. Or I'm on Twitch too, ADHD Melly, all the time, so you'll be able to see me there too. Depend what you prefer. And the same time, if you want to repeat the show, you can do that. Great
there you go.
program. Thank you so much, Michael.
Thank you,
I'm so
Melanie.
happy to see you here. I'm so thankful for all those comments. No worry. Yeah, it's okay. I'm sorry. So if you want to tell us how we pronounce your name on the comment, just do so because I think it's important to have the name not messed up. But I'm not good with that too. I'm sorry. If you don't know, my first language is French, so sometimes I can mess up some word and not knowing exactly what to say. So I think we're going to leave you now, but I want to know if you wanted to share something at the finished word and stuff like that. If you want to share something to the audience right now, you can go ahead and say whatever you want.
You got it. So, Melly, my parting words is anxiety is something that a lot of us experience, but don't let it overwhelm you. Try and find something that you enjoy doing to keep your body and your emotions and your mental state focused. And it's what it goes back to the breathing. Breathe in and out, and look, Juana, we were saying her name right all along. Yay! But close your eyes and take those deep breaths, and you will be more centered than you were in the mind of overwhelm.
Yeah, thank you so much for that. And it's true, you can overcome anything if you put the mind on it. And I understand that sometimes you're in a dark place and you cannot go up alone, and that's okay. What my end word will be, go seek help, go see a psychologist. If you need to go to the doctor because you cannot just deal on this, go ahead. It's okay to seek for help, and it shouldn't be taboo. I know it's always taboo. If I break my arm, I'm sorry, but I'm going to go to the doctor, right? I'm not going to keep my arm like broken. It's the same
Right,
thing with your mental health. And
right.
yeah.
It's true. It's true. And it's Magida. I one of those audio things. If you want to hear how to pronounce it, see Magida. It sounds like in she. See, and that's that. See, she's got an audio thing on her LinkedIn profile.
It's true. It's true. But we're live now, so I will check that out right now. And I'm so
Yeah,
thankful. Before we leave, I just want to remember that I have a GoFundMe if you want to help the ADHD Melly show succeed. So if you want to do a little donation to help the show, go ahead. Because if you don't know, I pay for everything. I pay for the program, I pay for the computer, I pay for mostly everything with my own money. I work as a cashier to make ends meet because I have the show and it costs like $250 per month just to make this show work. And
crazy.
for me, it's very important to pay for that. But if you want to help me just finance all that, you can go to the GoFundMe and go ahead and give $2 if you just have $2. It doesn't really matter how much you give, but if you can, just go ahead. Just at least go see the GoFundMe. You don't need to donate. Just go see it and you can post a comment if you want and just encourage me to make the show the best it can be. So yeah, so have a nice day, everybody. So we're going to leave you now, and I'm so excited. So don't forget to be there next Friday, but next Friday is going to be at 11 a.m. in the morning because our guest is from Thailand, if I'm not mistaken. So it's very,
Wow.
very, it's going to be too late at 1 p.m. So it's going to be early, but don't worry, I'm going to post an update on that. So have an amazing day, everybody, and see you soon. Bye,
Thank
guys.
you.